Hi everyone, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Guess what I'm reviewing today? You read the title so you already know, but get excited with me. I'm reviewing the KJAER WEIS Invisible Touch Concealer. We all get really excited about foundations, concealers. It's like the one item that there's like the eternal quest for. Like I could have one I love and I just want to know if there's one better. I just got to try them all just to make sure. But this one is such a welcome addition. Just spoiler alert, I'm wearing it underneath my eyes today. I've been using it for like the past week. It's been like 6 days. And I am just in love with it. Wearing it every day, using different setting options. So I have thoughts, I have opinions, and I'm of course going to share with you how I like to apply this product. So let's start where we always start, with the packaging. If you've never received a KJAER WEIS item before, they do all come in the most amazing, incredible red Hermes-like box. I mean, it just screams luxury. It's absolutely stunning. Has the shade name on there. And when you open it up, the true beauty is inside the concealer. And it is actually packaged exactly the same way as their lip glosses, which means that the refill components, because all KJAER WEIS products are refillable, which is like the genius of the line. Super sustainable. You buy it one time, you get this luxurious component. It has the metal cap that you could just pop off, and then you could buy replacements for a lesser cost, which I love. So the concealer is $38. Comes in a variety of different shades that I'll be sharing with you here shortly. It's gluten-free, it's cruelty-free, and it is designed to be a seamless, high coverage concealer, I'm sorry. And I wouldn't say it's quite full coverage, but it's absolutely a medium buildable concealer, and I think that's why I love it so much. So like the name would suggest, it does have a very invisible, thin texture, and at first I was like, oh no. I swatched it, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like that. I just thought that it was going to sit in all the fine lines and settle. I think sometimes concealers do need to have a little bit of weight to them that you could shear out with a beauty sponge or something like that. But this is so gorgeous. So you will see in the demonstration portion, I do first like to put on a light layer, whether it be spot concealing, because it is great for spot concealing. You can use it underneath the eyes. It covers hyperpigmentation. You can contour with it. I have yet to try doing that, but the formula is so beautiful, and I do have all the shades that I might test that, and I'll bring that to you in a video. You can use it to prime your eyes. You could do everything with this, and that's why I love it. And I also love that it's very buildable in nature, because I think that's how it works so well in all of those different places. So not only is it beautifully packaged, not only does it have really great coverage and sits really beautifully underneath the eyes, it is of course formulated with ingredients to help repair the skin, a lot of which that you will be familiar with if you are aware of the ingredients in the KJAER WEIS line. So some of those ingredients are Moringa oil. Moringa oil helps fight signs of premature aging. There is also sunflower seed oil and rosehip oil in here, which helps soften the skin. I think that's why it just sits so beautifully. But I do want to say it is the perfect balance of like being really lightweight, velvety texture. That's exactly what it is. It almost looks whipped when you take it out, because it does just have a traditional doe foot applicator, and it's a very, very whipped consistency, which I really, really like. Anyway, it's not overly emollient either. So I really think you can get away with not setting this product, because it's so seamless and thin that it wears so beautifully. That's really what I have to say about this product. Sometimes even the Fit Glow, even the Hint concealers that I really love, they look great when I first put them on, and then 7 hours later they've seen better days. This is the best longevity of a product as far as keeping the integrity of how it looks when it initially put on. Not that it doesn't change a little bit, of course it does, like wearing the mask and just being in the heat and makeup breaking down. This is the nature of things, but it's just such a great formula. They really, really hit it out of the park, and I think so many different skin types and age groups are going to love this product. So finishing off on the ingredients, there is also poppy seed extract in here, which is to help depuff the under eyes as well. And per usual, there are no artificial ingredients in the KJAER WEIS lineup. So it is a product that I'm really enjoying. Ingredients you can always trust, packaged just to perfection. it's a real standout product, but I'm going to actually show you here in the demonstration portion. But before I do, I quickly want to share the shades with you. So there are 4, 7, 8, 9. There are 12 shades, you know, I think that's a really nice start, and I'm just gonna share them here with you, and I'll share, of course, what shade I'm using. So we have the shade F110, which is described as a warm pink nude. We have the shade F120, which is described as a fair beige neutral. We have the shade F130, which is described as a light yellow. And we have the shade that I use, which is F140, and this is described as a light cool tone. I could also use F130, but I do like my under eyes to match the color of my skin. I've just realized as I've gotten older, I don't like that overly brightened look. Not only that, but I can also use it to spot conceal my face, which I love. And I will include a guide down below. They've done a really good job at matching up what concealers will work with their foundations. So you know I love the foundation. I use the shade Paper Thin, and this is the matchup for me, but I wouldn't describe this as a cool shade. I do think all of them have a nice, more golden undertone, which honestly, I think works very, very well. I think cool tones, especially underneath the eyes, can emphasize the ashiness or gray tones that we're trying to correct. So moving along to the medium shades, there is the shade M220, and that is described as a medium warm. We have the shade M230, which is described as a medium golden. And then we have the shade M240, which is described as a medium dark gold. Moving into the deep shades, we have the shade D310 that's described as a dark golden tone. We have the shade D320, which I'm describing as a deep dark golden because just a little bit darker. Then we have the shade D330, and that's described as a dark red. Then we have the shade D340, which is described as a dark neutral. And then we have the shade D350, which is a deep dark neutral, coming in at the darkest shade. So all of the concealers correspond with their foundation shades. I'm going to include that down below. You know I love it. You know about the ingredients. You know about the packaging. Now I'm just going to jump straight into the demo so I can show you why I love it so much. All right, so let's get on to applying some concealer, shall we? I do have a light foundation on. You can see like I have a little spot here that's peering through. A little discoloration there. Of course, the under eyes. Now I could kind of go a few different ways as far as shade is concerned. The one that probably matches my skin tone the most closely is F140. But if I wanted to do something a little bit lighter, I could do F130. That is quite a bit brighter, but since I'm going to be spot concealing and doing everything like that, I'm going to stay with F140. Something I will say while I'm here is I usually don't use things with cool undertones, but I don't have any issues with this product. It's golden to me still, so keep that in mind. I'll have a swatch photo of all of these things down below because we've already discussed the shades. So I'm just going to go straight in from the applicator underneath my eyes, and I'm just going to kind of concentrate it like that. I do always like to put a little bit of coverage here. I'm only going to do one of my under eyes, that way you all can see the difference. I'll do a little soft concealing here on the chin, and then I'm also going to do it here. So I totally think this can be used everywhere, especially because it is such a lightweight concealer and it really sits on the skin very nicely, no matter where you put it, under eyes or whatever. But they have different ways of applying it. My preferred way isn't the way they recommend to, so just keep that in mind. I do like to go in with the first layer with my sponge, keep it as, not light coverage because I don't want light coverage, keep it as skin-like as possible, and then if I need a little extra coverage, I will tap that in with my finger. They recommend using their concealer brush. You absolutely can, it's just not my preferred method of applying it. So I'm just gonna take this 100% pure sponge, and I am just going to tap, tap, tap everywhere that I have applied this concealer. Okay, so I'm first going to show you from far away. You can see I definitely have an evenness underneath my eyes. It definitely took care of some of that discoloration. This redness is a little bit more concealed. It is still peering through. I will go ahead and take care of that a little bit more, but it is the perfect amount of coverage for me. So something I want to say before I zoom you all in is that it does claim to be a full coverage concealer. I think it is more of a medium buildable, and I think that's what makes it look so natural on the skin. And I was actually really hoping that a product like this is going to come out that looks so lightweight and natural, provides coverage, but has a thin texture, because sometimes when I do a more no makeup look, I don't like to go in with the Fit Glow concealer or some of my other favorites, because those are just so full coverage. Sometimes it doesn't match a more lightweight base, and this one could definitely do both. You could do it with a more glam look, with a more everyday look, and that's what I love about this concealer. It's just the most velvety thin texture. It's great. So I'm going to zoom you all in so you can see a little bit more, and then I'm going to show you how I like to build this product up to get a little bit more coverage out of it and really get it to that more full coverage status. So I am in just incredibly close, and you can really see it took care of most of that discoloration. Right here's a little bit of darkness peering through, but the shade is really good. You can see it's not sitting in any of the fine lines and wrinkles. That is something that I immediately worried about with this concealer being a thinner texture, because I knew when I saw the packaging, I'm like, I have a feeling it's gonna be similar to their lip glosses, and their lip glosses have a thinness to them as well that takes a little bit of getting used to. But the lip glosses don't sit in the fine lines and wrinkles either. This is not sitting, and that was like the one big thing I was concerned about, being a more lightweight texture. So I'm gonna go back in, and I'm just going to apply a little bit more of this, just right where I'm the darkest right there. And then I'm also gonna do a little bit right here. That redness is still peering through. So when I want to amplify the coverage, like they say, you could go in with the concealer brush, but I'm actually going to use the warmth of my finger. That is my preferred way to do it. So I'm just going to take this and tap, 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 and it takes like 2 seconds. It just really melts into the skin. I love it. And I'm going to do the same with this. It is just like so traceless. Like it just leaves nothing behind. But look at how nice and buildable that is. I got a little bit more coverage that I wanted there. That's the discoloration I was pointing out earlier. That's really all the kind of like face concealing I'm gonna do. I just wanted to show you all how great this looks underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna stay here to show you. I'm gonna do the other eye, and then I'll show you how I like to set this as well. Okay, so for powder, this is so thin that it really just wears so nicely without creasing, but I do like to put just a little bit of powder because I am wearing makeup for just such a long period of time when I am at work. So you of course can use the KJAER WEIS pressed option. That's great. I really like that for my face. But for the under eyes, my favorite is the 100% pure bamboo blur powder. That's what I'm gonna use. So I'm also going in with the Delium Tool 787 brush, and I will literally just like tap, like not even where all the powder is. Okay. Then I'm going to swirl it around in the lid. I just want to really evenly coat all of the bristles because I want this to be so light. And then I'm just going to tap. And then I'm just going to tap. And you could see that light dusting of powder. I'm also going to put a little bit right where I spot concealed on my chin. You can see that little bit of powder didn't emphasize any of the fine lines and wrinkles. It really kept the integrity of the finish, the texture, everything like that with the concealer. So I am absolutely loving it, and I hope that you found this demonstration portion helpful. All right, everyone, so that is it. I am truly loving this concealer. I did quickly want to share, I think prepping the under eyes is the best way to get concealer of any kind to work. So the one that I've really been loving is the 12 Beauty Rapid Eye Treatment. That is what I used before I went in and applied this today. So I'm gonna link that down below as well. I'll include the 100% pure sponge. I'll include refills, swatch photo, everything you need. I know we were really excited about this review. I hope that you found it helpful. It's beautiful, it's buildable, It's velvety, it looks great underneath the eyes despite its more thin texture, and it wears like a dream. I mean, what more can I say? I want to experiment with contouring and using different shades, and I will bring that for you as well because it's such a nice thin texture. I think it would be great for that as well. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. Anything that I either forgot to address in this video or just a question that you have, please leave it in the comments down below. I am here to help. Anyone else who has used this concealer, I would love for you to sound off down below as well. From what I've seen, people at large are really, really loving it. You know, I like hate most concealers. Like, let's just gonna put it out there. Like, concealer is that one thing, as much as I like trying them, once I find one that's good, I kind of stay in that lane because I get nervous to try other products, but this one has been a really, really warm welcome. So that is everything. Like I said, anything you need is going to be in the description box down below. But before you leave, if you could please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. I upload videos here twice weekly. I don't want you guys to miss it. I try to stay up on all the new releases as well. So if there's anything you'd like me to review, don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, everything I already said, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.